I don't fear hell anymore. I don't. And that one shift changed everything about how I think, about how I live my life, and how I exist. Because when you're terrified of eternal torment, you just don't think clearly. You don't question. You don't breathe. You perform. You obey. You panic. You call it faith, but deep down, it's just fear chained to hope. So if that resonates with you, you're not broken. You're not. You are waking up. So I was the kid who took hell seriously. And not in the metaphorical sense or the symbolic sense, but literally. I lie awake at night wondering if I had repented hard enough. If I had, missed a hidden sin, if I was truly saved, or just fooling myself. Because the message that I was given wasn't love, it was leverage. God loves you, but he'll let you burn forever if you get it wrong. I believed it. It made me anxious, self-policing, terrified of slipping up. Just paralyzed by the thought of eternal conscious torment. I remember being 12 years old and silently crying during an altar call because I thought that I wasn't really saved. I kept repraying the sinner's prayer over and over and over. Because how could you ever know if it worked, right? That's not peace. There's no peace in that. Fear of hell, it rewires your brain. It conditions you to mistrust yourself. You start to see your own thoughts as dangerous. You filter every question through a punishment lens. You're not encouraged to grow. You're groomed to comply. And you have to ask yourself this one question. Who benefits from that? Who? The people who run the system. That's who. The people who profit from your submission. The people who need you to stay small and scared and tithing. Hell is the ultimate behavioral control tool. It overrides logic and empathy and even your intuition. Because when your soul is on the line, you'll do anything to be safe. Even if it means hating who you are. Even if it means staying in abuse. Even if it means handing over your mind to people who haven't earned your trust. They say that hell is justice, but justice that requires infinite punishment for finite error is not justice. Letting go of hell, it did not happen all at once. It didn't happen on just one go, one day. I didn't wake up one day and just let it go. I chipped away at it. I questioned. Quietly at first. Then I read. Then I listened. And then eventually I stopped pretending that I still believed in a God who would torture people forever. Just because they didn't get their theology right. And you know what happened? I didn't spiral. I didn't lose my moral compass. I didn't become a nihilist. None of that. I got calmer, clearer, kinder, more honest with others and myself. I stopped performing. I stopped obsessing over sin. And I started asking real questions about what it means to be good. Not because I was afraid of punishment, but because I actually cared. Fear didn't make me moral. It made me afraid of myself. Letting go of hell gave me back me. When you stop fearing hell, everything shifts. You realize how much of your life was shaped by avoidance, not intention. You start creating instead of complying. You show up. You show up in relationships because you choose to. Not because you're called to serve. No. You become present. You stop apologizing for your own existence. You stop outsourcing your morality. You stop living for some future escape plan called heaven, and you just start showing up here, right now. And you start to trust something deeper than doctrine. Your own capacity to think and to feel and to reason. Despite what you're told, letting go of hell doesn't make you faithless. It makes you honest. And for the first time in my life, I don't need to be rescued. I don't believe I need to be rescued because I'm not lost. I'm just finally free. I'm finally free. And if you've ever feared hell, if that fear shaped your personality and your choices and your silence, and if you've started to realize that fear is not the same thing as faith, then I don't need to convince you of anything. You already know. You're not deconstructing because you're a bitter person or a nihilistic person. You're asking because you're courageous. You're not rebelling against God. You're walking away from people who used his name to control you. I don't fear hell anymore. And that changed everything. Everything.